There's the end of the cable right there. He's in this little trail by the opposing farm here. That's what's nice about it. You just step right out of it. Didn't wreck the set or anything like that. So I'll just put it back up on my support. There's my support wire. And we'll be good to go. Okay, I've been checking my cable restraints for a couple days. No catches. But the deer keep kicking them over. I've reset them quite a few times now where the deer stepped in one, pulled it out, or knocked them down when they were walking through the trails. So I knew that was going to be a problem for me. But yeah, you just got to deal with it. I mean, any trail I would set a cable restraint on here. There's, distinct possibility that a deer is going to use. But I have them all reset. I'm going to let them sit. Expecting some snow tonight. So I may come back tomorrow. I'll be able to look for sign, look for tracks, and see if we see anything. As you can see, a little different surroundings today. Drastic drop in temperature. But I just parked my truck by the barn here. I was coming up on the farm to check my cables, and the highway is down this way. The road is down this way. The highway goes up this way. And right here, there's a set of freaking coyote tracks coming right in on the path here. And they follow right up the path. You can see them there plain as day. Not the neighbor's dog. And they continue on up here. I'm going to see where they go and see if I can find where they lead to. Hopefully they lead into one of my cables. Following these coyote tracks here. You see here where he stopped and he urinated on the corn stalk. P-post. They continue on this way. I'm following for a little more yet. I'm looking for a spot where I can pinch him down. This is the only set though. It's a lone dog. It's not like a pack of coyotes. So he's heading for a ditch here. Oh, let's see where they go. Okay, we went a little further on here. Peed again. Looks like he was digging for something here. And here too. I'm assuming it's a male. He seems to be out here on his own. He was digging up stuff here a little bit. And here you can see where these tracks are from last night because it snowed. And then you can see the crust is frozen over when he's walking on here. It's broken up, but yeah, it's still plain as day. He's heading right for the pond here. That's where he's going. Follow his tracks all the way to the woods. He paid again here on the bush. He marked that. You can see here where he just barely put his foot down. I think that looks like squirrel tracks there where it was frozen, because you see here where he stunk down into the snow. But the coyote went on down that way. He went under the log there and down into the woods. I'm gonna circle and see if I can find any more, but like I said, he was only going one direction and he stayed out in the open. He came right across the open field. Came right in under one of my deer stands here. That was interesting following him. Followed him for quite a ways. See if we can find any more. Hit some deer tracks here. In the corner of the field, coming from here. They actually came through the trail here right by my one stand here. There's a stand right there. Yeah, they came through here. I've seen lots of squirrel tracks. These are actually the first deer tracks I've seen now. Squirrels, squirrels, squirrels. See here where the squirrels are zigzagging around. Coming out looking for pieces of corn. I don't see any canine tracks though. There's a canine track right there. Yeah, fox track. Fox track here. That's good. Let's see where these go. See here, literally the squirrel tracks coming in and out of here. They're going right through the hoop of the snare. Look at. Amazing. And more deer tracks here. Squirrel. Lots of deer. Deer tracks. See what went through here. Something went through there. Went through my trail. There's the cable. I can't quite see what the tracks are. They're a little bit fuzzy. Could be a deer track. Certainly lots of deer traffic. I've seen deer tracks by my other cable as well. So these are all deer. That's a small deer. This is a cat. Probably my Black Panther buddy. More deer. Squirrels. Deer again. I'm surprised there's no deer tracks through this way. They all came this way. Look at this. Through this little trail here, that way. You'd think that big path here, they'd go down there, but they didn't. Yeah, you can see on this cable too where the deer are using this trail. They're splitting that way. And they're splitting that way. Didn't kick my cable down though this time. I've put this cable up about 3 or 4 times, but I mean, it's a good trail. You'd think you'd catch something on it. I have deer trails going in underneath there too. Another one coming from the opposite farm this way. I have a tree stand in there. The deer use this pathway in here a lot. No fox sign though. Well, as predicted, the snow has arrived. Got about, I don't know, 3 to 4 inches maybe. Now tomorrow we're expecting ice. 2 to 3 inches of snow, 3/4 of an inch of ice. Wonderful. So I took the opportunity today. I'm gonna do a quick run around here on the farm and see if I can't find any fox sign. I only seen one set of fox prints and they were on the very edge of the property. I followed that big set of coyote tracks. He came up from across the street. He came up and he stayed in the open fields. He went right across. All the crop fields are open, like you see behind me here, the cornfields and stuff. He went right through the middle of the open field. No rhyme or reason. He just went to up over the top of the hill. I'm sure he was going to high ground to check wind. And then he went down in the woods, back in by the pond down here below my. I'm having more tree stands down there, but he came in below my tree stands there. I was surprised. I had some carcasses stashed under here in pine trees. And I came to see if there was any footprints around that area or coming into that area, and didn't see any. But we're going to keep looking. I'm sure, even if I know there was at least 1 or 2 foxes killed off here by the highway. So, given time, more are going to move into this area, but I'm running out of time. I'll have to wait till next season. All right, we'll keep looking, see what we find. Well, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. This is the field here, early season. I shot a doe and the doe ended up right here, right just off the edge of the corner of the woods, and my tree stand's actually up behind me. But this is where she came down and went through. Look at all the deer trails. I mean, they are everywhere. Look at all the deer tracks. On this side, you can see the trails running down in here. If you go around into the little clear cut here, I mean, look at this is all deer tracks. This is where they cross up into the. This is actually the neighboring property where I have permission to hunt too, but my stand is right on top of the hill there. I was looking. I thought, well, this would be a good area if coyotes are going to harass the deer. This is a good spot for it. Look at the trails, everywhere you look. But I did not see any canine prints. They're all deer prints, every one of them. And there's a big trail here that leads up to my stand. You can see here, look where they're coming in out of here. Actually, over here is where my buck lay after I shot him up on the hill.
Look at this, all deer tracks. Well, there's a human track, and that's mine. But yeah, so there's a trail here that goes up, and there's another one that goes in behind my stand here. Still a lot of deer sign in here. That's good. Good for me for next season. That's good. But no coyote tracks, no fox tracks. For right now, that's not good. It's good for deer. Man, I would really like to know where that big coyote went. Checking cables. Look at the tracks. Squirrels, rabbit tracks, squirrel tracks, deer tracks. Everywhere. Just fixed my cable that I had there. Deer kicked it down again. The other one over here, deer kicked it down. Look at the trails. Squirrel trails, rabbit trails. How can there not be canines in here? That's why there's so many. Look at the squirrel tracks. That's why there's so many tracks, deer tracks that way. It's like a deer highway. Down here this way, and past my stand. Look, the sun is going down. It's 5:30, and it is a balmy 19 degrees. Tomorrow the high is going to be 9 degrees. Okay, time to move on. As you can see, we had a layer of ice. That's why the snow is so noisy now. Yeah, we had last night we had a fall in about, like, I don't know, half an inch of freezing rain. Just frosted everything. Everything is frozen solid now. But those cables are still working. I'm really, really pleased about that. Now all I need is decent canine activity. I've been keeping an eye on the tracks. Most of these tracks are old tracks. I did cross some newer deer tracks on the way up when I parked at the road. Usually I would park at the top of the farm and walk down, but now that gate access is frozen solid and I don't want to get stuck. But I walked all the way up from the bottom. Oh, this sounds fantastic. It's time to bust out the serious winter gear now. I've seen a lot of deer tracks. I haven't seen any deer tonight. A couple nights ago I did, but now it's getting like really, really cold. I haven't seen any fresh coyote or fox sign on the way up. Although the snow is there's a couple of inches of snow on the ground, 3 inches maybe. In places it's bare because of the wind, but the snow is pretty frozen. So a fox could probably walk on it and not leave a footprint in it. Now a deer obviously is going to leave a print in it. His hooves are sharp and he's heavy. And a fox probably not. Might have to do a sit at night, sit at the cabin and sit with the rifle. Maybe with an electronic caller, see if we can't call in a coyote. All right, onward. Well, I am not pleased to see this. Here's a catch circle off one of my cables. I was in that little trail here. I come up, I don't see any animals. It's like, all right, what's going on? I see my tag shining there. There, followed the end of the cable. Ah, look at this. I am so not happy. They chewed the lock right off it. It's gone. Look at that. This is a 7x7 cable. And that is the last time I will use one of those. I'm going to go with the 1x19 and that's all I'm going to use from now on. And I had seen some issues where guys were, my stake and everything held. It was fine. There's the stake. There's the stake. No problems, but look at the cable. That could have been my coyote. Gone. There's no fur. I don't see any fur stuck in the cable. so I couldn't tell if it was a fox or a coyote, but I had to look around. I mean, the snow is like mashed with deer tracks, and I mean, there's deer tracks all over it, but I know for sure a deer didn't chew that. But yeah, I had a good catch circle here, but I was trying to look for pad marks, for paw marks, but like I said, it's just mashed to nothing. I'm really not pleased about that. This was a perfect trail too. It was actually a split trail. There was one trail here, and then the other side of the trail came through here. You can see there where it goes through into the crop field on the opposite side there. And it was all grass. It was perfect. Grass and goldenrod. Oh man, what a disappointment. That would have been my first cable catch. Well, technically now it was a catch and release, a self-release. Oh man, I'm so not happy. So not happy. There's no way I can reset that, because if I set it in there, it's going to be too close to the tree there. It's going to be entanglement. So I can't do that now. That's freaking ruined. Oh well, you live and learn, I guess. The lesson there is don't use 7x7 cable. I had another one of my, well, here it's constant issue with deer knocking them down. I'm so not happy about that. I've been diligently checking these traps. Ugh. I have a week in checking these. And usually my canines here, the fox at least, they tend to run a 5 to 7 day cycle. So they'll come through and then you won't see them, and then 5 to 6 days later they'll come through again. It's like, I'm so not pleased. Oh well, what are you gonna do? It is what it is. I checked my other cables, and there was one other one that was knocked down. A deer knocked it down, and that's a constant problem for anyone that traps in PA. If you're setting on trails, you're going to get deer knocking down your cables. It's just a fact of life. But no other catches. All right, got one more area to check, and then I'm off home. But man, I am not happy. Yeah, what are you going to do? Onwards, I guess. Just be leery of that 7-strand cable. And you know, I'd done a lot of research, and I'd seen a lot of issues with guys that had issues with, you know, 7x7 and chew outs. And obviously there's the proof of it. You'd never think they'd be able to chew through a cable. Well, there's the proof. That cable end was eaten off. It was gone. It was gone. All right, on to the next spot.